Hi there, welcome to Get Gardening. In today's episode I want to show you the new flower bed that I'm planting up in the front yard, but I wanted to start in the back here with this clump of crocuses that I showed you last time. In years past this group was only purple, but you can see that there's a white one, there's even a white and purple striped one, and some yellow ones in there too. So apparently this clump had other ones that just haven't bloomed for a few years, and they're looking quite spectacular. So I had to start the start of this episode by showing you this. But let's go take you to the front yard where I'm planting up a new flower border, all with plant material from the other part of the house. Alright, so here I am in my front yard. On the left here is the bed that I just dug the grass up from the other day. It's an extension from the flower border that you see over here. That's where I've got my peonies, my roses, and so I'm extending it this year to connect these two boxwoods that I have on the left. So I've already been planting it up with divisions that I've made from the other parts of the front yard, and I'll show you what's in here. It's already filling up quite quickly. It's like, it looks like a really big bed, but before I know it, it's already becoming full. Here's the Millennium Allium that I put at the corner. I had a big clump of it, so I divided it. I've got 4 pieces of it now. Cut it up just like a piece of cake. This is the Bokova geranium, the beautiful white one that's touched with pink, and look at the foliage as it's emerging from the ground, just beautiful. So I divided this plant as well. I was very greedy and I've got it in a couple different places. Here's another piece of it right there. So in the center of this bed I've got a peony that I planted in here last year when this was still a lawn. I was mowing around it and it died in the middle of summer. I thought, oh, maybe it's gone, but well, it's still here. So it's a very cold and windy day, but I've got other things in here as well, like the penstemon you can see here. And in the front, I'll show you I got a catmint that I divided. And I put along with the sedum here, you can see I've got a couple clumps of sedum, and in the front, there's the catmint. And I divided this into 3 pieces here that are here as well. So I've got a lot of things here for high spring, but I don't have tons in here for summer. So I thought we'd go to a phlox and divide it. So up over here I'm removing things to put some new bushes in. I've got magnolias on the way, and I've got some beautiful phlox over here that are beautiful white and pink color. And I figured I'd dig these up and divide it and put 2 of them at the bed. Now these came with the house. I got a shovel just in case I needed to cut through. It looks like the previous owners that planted this phlox had plastic over here, so who knows if I'm going to run into some plastic. But it's a nice clump of white or pink phlox. It gets tall and blooms in the summer, has a beautiful fragrance. So I'm going to dig up this clump and we'll divide it into at least 2 pieces. And then there's more phlox here. I'd like to put some in my backyard in the walkway garden, and I'd like to put some of it in my cutting garden. So it looks like it's grown into the plastic. This is definitely not ideal. Or it might be above the plastic actually. So I might have to cut it. Good thing I grabbed this shovel. That's what it needed. It just needs to be severed from this other piece that's over here on the left. Okay, let's take a look. It's a very healthy piece of phlox. Got a good root system, and I'll show you at the garden how I'm going to cut this up. Actually, I can probably do it right here. What I'll do is I'll take my shovel and I'm just going to cut it into 2 pieces. I would like a big clump for the center of that bed that I've got. So basically, just kind of find a center point, like about here, and split it. May seem quite drastic, but it's actually a very good way of propagating these plants. A lot of perennials, like the geraniums that I did, I might use a knife to get in there and get them. You could use a fork too, but I find a shovel tends to be pretty good. Although, I'm having trouble with this one. I might have to, there, jump on it a little bit. Alright, so I made the division. I got 2 very healthy pieces. Hopefully you can see that. Here they are. Let's go plant it. Alright, so I planted the first half of the phlox over here on the other side of the penstemon. It'll be tall in the center of this garden, and it'll give me some color in the middle of summer. And I've got the other piece to go right over here. So in this bed I've got some symmetry going on. It's a little bit more formal, but I like the formality for the front garden at least. So I got the hole dug. It's actually a little bit too deep. I can put some soil back in here. I planted most of these plants up yesterday and I forgot to water, so I think I'll maybe get a bucket of water and lightly water these in, because the ground's already pretty wet and it's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow, so I'm not too worried about it. But there's the start of this garden, and I think in the next few weeks I'll add more to it, because the salvias haven't started growing yet, and when they do I'd like to add some of them in here as well. So here's a quick glance of what the garden looks like now as it's empty and I'm filling it up. So hope you guys are able to get out there and get gardening. Thanks so much for watching.